I know what you're thinking. What is that in her hair? Oh my goodness, one time for the bow is just so cute and so festive. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Doing Better with Bree. It's your girl Bree, and honey, we have some things to talk about. But before we do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now I'm going to insert a video clip showing you guys the tea that I've made for myself before bed. I'm so proud of myself for sticking to my routine and drinking my tea before bed and in between meals. I'm going to show you guys my cute little teapot. It's super cute, but take a look at the video, tell me what you think, and don't forget to follow me on Lemon8 where I post my lookbook, my hair accessories, and other little tea recipes that I've started to do. Let's take a taste. I've been sipping on it, and I'm going to tell you guys honestly that it tastes like what it looked like. It tastes like a flower. It tastes real earthy with that Earl Grey. I have no sugars and no sweeteners in it, but I still do like it. It makes me feel very relaxed, very calm. So let's take a sip while you guys check out this video. Tell me what you think in the comments. Now the holidays are coming to an end, and if you watched my last video, you would know that I'm on a 7-part mini glow up challenge. And one of the challenges, which is extremely hard for me, is no dating men for the entire year of 2025. Easier said than done because these men keep coming out of nowhere, and honey, it is hard, especially in the city that I'm in, Atlanta. It's so hard to date, and it's even harder to turn men down because they don't really like that. But we have a think piece that we're going to go ahead and get into. But I'm honestly glad that the holidays are getting ready to wrap up, honey, because I'm negative monies, and I have my money tree here, as you can see, and I've had this baby since he was a baby, and I'm gonna need him to, go ahead and do his thing and manifest some more money because, honey, the account is not looking right. I'm a mom, and I've spent way too much money on these holidays, and I'm just ready to get past it so we can go ahead and get our glow up going for this summertime, honey. And part of that is glowing up mentally, especially when it comes to dating. Now, whatever city you're in, I'm sure the dating is just as bad as the city I'm in, Atlanta. But we are trying to really avoid men for this year. And the only reason why is because we want to work on ourselves, run our money up, focus on us, and not allow a man to distract us. And to be honest, men are quite distracting, and they can cause you a level of stress that you may not be prepared for. So for today's think piece, we are going to talk about Miss Erica Mena and the apology that she just gave out to Miss Nicki Minaj. Now, if you didn't see it, there is a video on the Dumb Blonde, that's what's called, the Dumb Blonde podcast. The video just dropped. Definitely go take a look at it if you're interested in that conversation. But I'm going to give you the highlight of the conversation right quick. And the highlight was her apologizing to Nicki Minaj publicly. She basically said that she feels really bad that she went out here and helped Safari, which is Erica Mena's baby daddy and Nicki Minaj's ex, with his smear campaign. He was definitely out here all those years ago trying to ruin Nicki Minaj's reputation, saying he wrote all these songs, showing videos of her crashing out and just pretty much acting up in hopes that it would derail people from wanting to work with her or be interested in her as a person and to save his own image. But in actuality, it did nothing like that. And as we know, Nicki Minaj is off being a mother, growing and glowing and doing her own thing. Now, Erica Mena, on the other hand, is currently going through a very tough custody and divorce with her now baby daddy, Safari. And we all saw her hopping over that fence. If you didn't catch it, honey, where have you been? Because Erica hopped over that fence to talk to her baby daddy when he was really much trying to, get rid of her, block her, avoid her. She was throwing things, breaking things, and it was all caught on camera, and he came out on YouTube with an entire video trying to explain his side. And Erica just was like, you know what? He did the same thing that he did to Nicki Minaj to me, and I want to apologize to her because I was right there going along with it, trying to defend my man and be on his side and, really not being a girl's girl when it came to that entire situation. And now she wants to give a backhanded apology all these years later. Now, you guys, the comments from the snippet that I seen on Instagram were so worth the read because everybody pretty much said the same thing. Nicki don't care about no after effect, all BS apology that you want to give now. Girl, what was this apology at years ago? She didn't have one. You know why she didn't have one? Because she felt validated in what she was doing. She didn't have any problem until he became the problem for her. Now that Karma is whooping her ass, she wants to apologize and say, hey, yeah, a lot of us women do this. And I'm going to stop Miss Erica Mena right there because a lot of us women do not do that, okay? It's a certain demographic of toxic, petty, narcissistic women that involve themselves in sitting around talking bad about somebody's ex in hopes that it makes them feel better or look better to their now partner. I am problematic to men because let me tell you something. I stand on business. If you disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you back. I'm going to say how I feel when I feel it. I'm not going to just go along and get along for the sake of just having a man. That's the easiest thing to get these days. A lot of women that are actually in committed relationships right now, low key, no shade, are miserable because they are just being agreeable in order to keep their man. When you start standing up for yourself, let's see if you have a man still. A lot of these women won't. But I'd rather be that type of problematic than the alternative, which is just being pretty much a pick-me. Women who involve themselves in men that are in relationships, sit around talking bad about the ex, out here dating men that are married with children in hopes that he'll leave his wife for you. That entire ideology of women that think that it's okay really catch the worst levels of karma in the end because they usually get stuck with the child from that toxic man, or sometimes even worse, and they don't mentally recover. And let's not talk about the age factor. Some women are just too old to play those games, and they sit around here and they deal with these narcissistic toxic men, and then by the time that they're done dealing with him and they're ready to move on and heal and grow and glow, they're like 40 years old. You've wasted all of this time knowing that this man was no good, and now you're 40 years old trying to be back on the dating scene competing, and I hate to say it, competing with 20-something-year-old woman, early 30-something-year-old woman, and the other 40-something-year-old woman that's single just like you. It's no easy situation to be in. So what we have to do is do better in our judgment and practice discernment. And in order to do better, baby, you have to really take a look at the entire situation before jumping head in. We just jump in because we want love. We want to be love bombed. We want somebody to want us and be with us. But a lot of times it just don't be worth it. You might as well be by yourself because in the end, to be honest, you finna be right back by yourself. Once you realize that this man is no good, or he starts cheating on you, or he just leave you because you were never the one that he genuinely wanted. He was just there for a good time and not a long time. A lot of women who put themselves in these situations, they always have some crazy testimony of how they overcame a narcissist. But if we back the entire timeline up and we ask them, well, how did you not notice that this man was this, this, and this? A lot of times they'll tell you that they saw the red flags. They just chose to partake in the BS with that man in hopes that he would be a better man to them. And that's not how it works, baby girl. I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all. I got a little piece of that flour in my mouth and it tastes like I just ate a dandelion. Ooh wee. Okay. But I'm gonna give you girls some tips on how to date better, okay? And how maybe you can avoid a little bit of the BS that I've gone through, other women have gone through when it comes to dating out here, in hopes that you are able to find a proper mate when it comes time. Now, there are 3 main questions that you need to ask a man seriously before you consider dating him for a long time, if not looking for marriage, okay? The first question that you should ask a man always is, what is his 5-year plan? Now, side note, you need to have a 5-year plan for yourself as well. And if a serious committed relationship is on that, then you need to make sure that you vocalize that to that man. Because a lot of men do not know that you are looking for serious commitment and will turn you into the good time girl, the fun girl, and not the wife. So if you don't ask the proper questions, you will not get the proper results. So first things first, always ask that man, what is your 5-year plan? If his 5-year plan just consists of him getting money, leveling up his life, then what are you doing there? Because he has no intentions on staying with you long term or being with you long term. He is literally focused on running up his money. And in that case, you can turn into the stay down girlfriend, and that's not what you want to be. A lot of men that do the stay down girlfriend thing, they end up leaving you once they get the money and the lifestyle that they want for the woman that they truly want. So don't be with a guy who has no plans on commitment in his next 5 years if that is something that you are looking for. That's a red flag. You need to leave. Save yourself the drama. We are thinking long term. We are thinking for the future and not just right now. I don't care how much money he has. I don't care what he's got going on. If you are serious about being in a long term committed relationship leading towards marriage, then you need to move a certain way. And number one is to ask the tough questions. What is your 5 year plan? Always ask that man and make sure that you have one for yourself. Number two, ask him about his ex and what was the longest relationship he's been in. If that man begins to immediately tell you that his ex is a terrible person, brag, on how he did all these things for them and that they're no good, they're this, they're that, they're that, they're this, and you have to sit there and listen to this man go on an hour rant about how terrible his ex was, baby girl, that's not where you need to be, because please keep in mind, if you turn into his ex, he will literally do the same thing to you. And so because you don't need a smear campaign being ran on you, you need to avoid men that talk badly about their exes. Now, if he's a mature enough man, he will say the relationship didn't work. I learned a lot from it, and I'm ready to move on with my life and commit to my next person. That's possibly a good candidate for you. A man who is mature enough to understand the mistakes he had in the relationship and how he is going to do better in his next one without disrespecting, degrading, or talking badly about the last person he was with. There is no point in aligning yourself with the man who has that type of mentality. You will literally hurt yourself in the long run, and we are thinking for the future, not just now. So I know it might feel good now because he's giving you attention now, and you might have some lonely, cold nights, and you be thinking, I just want somebody to lay up with me right now. That's not what you want. Don't turn yourself into the good time girl. Make sure that you are giving him what he needs to know so that he knows that you are trying to be somebody's wifey and not just be somebody's other ex, okay? So listen to what it is that he has to say about his ex and make sure that if he is talking badly about this person, that that's your last conversation with them. You go ahead and leave that situation immediately. There's no point in staying there if he's going to just be disrespectful, because he will definitely turn around and do it to you, baby girl. 100% guaranteed, okay? Number three, which is the most important one, I think, and I know it sounds very simple. Why are you single? Now, you're probably like, what? A lot of people are single for a lot of reasons. Well, not necessarily. Some men are single because they are choosing to be single while they level up their life, understandably. Some men will say that they're single because they can't find no good woman. I rarely believe that this is a situation that you should involve yourself in when a man says, oh, I can't find a good woman. Because a lot of times they actually do run into good women, but you will find out that they might not be a good man. So that generic answer in itself, you need to ask them to elaborate. What do you mean you have not found any good woman? Now, if he's only been in maybe 2 relationships and they were long-term and they both went very badly, then that might be something to consider. But some men have only dated consistently, but have not been long-term, and there is a difference. 9 months with this woman, 6 months with this woman, 8 months with this woman, 3 months with that woman, constantly dating, but yet you have found no good woman. Maybe he's the problem, and therefore asking the question why you are single is definitely very important. And I'm sure they're going to ask you why you're single, and you need to have a really good response. I'm single because I am leveling myself up. I'm single because I was in a long-term relationship and it did not work out. I took the time to work on myself. I'm ready to move on and commit and find my husband. That is a good response as to why you are single. But just saying that there's no good men out here, giving that type of generic response, he might look at you like you're the bad woman and you are not worth the time. And make sure that you also pay attention to the warning signs with him. If he tells you something that just does not sound right, does not sound legit, don't just eat it up because he looks good or he has money or he seems to have all the things that you want material-wise, because you can turn around and walk away with nothing. Like, You might be there for a little while and get a few things out of it, but we're not here just for temporary entertainment. If you are looking for a committed relationship, you are looking for a long-term husband. So you want to make sure that you give the best response to that answer, a genuine response, and that you pay attention to make sure that their response is genuine. Pay attention to their body language, pay attention to their eye contact. If they seem to break out in sweats or seem to not be able to answer the question, or bounce around the question or blame everybody else, then that's not a good suitable mate for you, and therefore that's another red flag, and you need to go ahead and leave that situation alone as well. Save yourself the future drama. Like I said, we're thinking for long term, and these are some ways you can better date, and you have to ask the tough questions when it comes down to it. These 3 questions can save you a lot of BS later, I promise you. Pay attention to their body language. Pay attention to how they respond. Pay attention to the eye contact they give you. Pay attention. It will save you later. Now, if you watched my previous video, which I hope you did, and if you didn't, I will leave a link for it below on how to access it. But that video, I pretty much said that I'm on a 7-part mini glow up challenge, and the hardest part about that challenge is the no dating. I'm telling you, y'all, because I be having too much motion, but not no more. I've cut off every man. I've even changed my number. None of the old flames got none of this new information, okay? And there's a reason behind it. The reasoning for me not wanting to date y'all is because I'm just not good at it right now. I'm too focused, I'm too self-centered, and I'm too just driven on what it is that I want to do. So bringing a man into that mix just doesn't work for me. So if you're taking this challenge with me, I want to hear from you. Drop it in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling. If you're lonely, if you started a business, what's going on with you? I'm hoping that you're going to thrive during this season, and 2025 is kind to you, as I'm praying that it will be kind and generous to me in all categories. But with that being said, you guys, if you are going to date, I hope that you take those 3 tips that I gave you and implement them into your dating experience. Those questions can save you a lot of riffraff. No longer we just asking what your sign is and making that, oh, me and you compatible, we good to go. Because nah, baby, we're asking the tough questions that needs to be asked in order to know if this person is going to align with you for a long-term committed relationship. Outside of that, you guys, if you're not, more power to you. Focus on you and get in your bag. With that being said, that's all the time I have for today. I need to go put the rollers in my hair. And speaking of hair, let's give it one more time for this bow, because it's so festive for the holiday season and I just love it. And I don't know if we'll bring her back out again until the next year, but she's so cute right now and I just love this bow. But ladies, don't forget to do 1% better a day. Get your bag and stay out the way. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace.